Yo, this is Wicked Cryptids, guys. I'm working on a couple Dybuk Box cases. Obviously, something don't want me to work on any of these cases regarding Dybuk boxes. Look at, can you see anything on this page? Unless I cover the light of the sun, you can see the words. I face it towards the sun, you can't see the words. I was trying to show you that I was reading from my notes. Switch it to this way, come closer to the camera, you can see my notes. As I go to the sun, you can't see my notes. I've had to change camera angles. See this orb here? Mighty big, mind you. I keep getting photobombed from the God, small g, God, or Jesus, the Holy Spirit, in some way. I keep getting photobombed. No matter the lighting, it's getting kind of tedious for me to record, video log this, or video journal this. But I had to get this on camera. I can't read to you from my notes without you reading with me, because that's what I wanted to do with you. Something isn't letting me read about my notes to the Dybuk Box for the camera. With that, guys, continue to hang in there. This is some straight bullshit. I keep getting photobombed by this fucking sun, aka Jesus or God. I'm gonna do a fucking podcast type interview for you guys on how I handle Dybuk Box the correct way. Give me a couple secs before I figure out 100th camera angle. I keep getting photobombed. That's why it looks like this. So bear with me, guys. I'll be back. Seriously, this is some straight bullshit. Look at this book. That's my research. I was going to read off of while I did my podcast interview for you guys. Photobombed by who again? I'm a demonologist. I have 3 attachments. This is proof that they don't want me doing what I'm about to attempt on video for you guys. This is Wicked Cryptids. Hang in there. I'm going to attempt it again. Alrighty, guys, this is Wicked Cryptids. I'm back, regardless of my problem. Alrighty. You know, I got asked by a couple of friends to help them with some Dybuk boxes. Now, my guess, believably, since public notifications of the Dybuk box existence never had no merit to anything. Nobody even knew they existed. Now, all of a sudden, these Dybuk boxes are coming up out of everywhere? Come on now. But on some rare occasions, they do land in my lap, which tend to be totally real. Now, as a self-acclaimed demonologist and cryptozoologist, I have extensive professional and extra knowledge in both fields. The Dybuk box, on the other hand, is only considered supposedly a temporary prison to transport that demon to a different location, out of the area where it's terrorizing the people or livestock or whatever. It's used to transport the demons to a different location, not to imprison them. Now, that knowledge a demonologist should know. Again, look at this orb here. It keeps appearing up when it gets to this topic. Now, handling the Dybuk box in the same way you would handle, a landlord would handle an eviction. You know, you're mad that they're there, you're mad, you just want them gone, but you can't do nothing with any of them. Well, same thing with the demon. The demon is here, it's trying to exist in its only way it knows how. Chaos, malicious intents, or, you know, whatever its purpose might be at that time. You go at them with such fierce intensity to get them out. You know, you don't want them here. You revoke their welcoming, so to say. Right? You make them feel real unwelcomed. Not disrespected, unwelcomed. Chase them out and get rid of them. That's the idea, right? Well, just imagine. These beings, these demons, get put in these temporary prisons, size of that, to be brought to somewhere else. And they didn't get released properly or incorrectly. Causes the myth. The genie, rub your lamp and a genie will come out. That's fairy tale. The jinn don't work that way. They're older beings. But back to the Dybbuk box. You go at them like an eviction like that with that fierce intensity, you got to state your boundaries with it. You can't attach yourself to me, my family, nor my friends, or their belongings. You can't attach yourself to anything concerning my friends or family, or their belongings or mine. You got to state your grounds strongly and free of fear. If you show any slight of fear, you're to breach a contract to that demon. You got to think like a pirate. That's kind of sort of how a demon thinks. You got to be precise with your contract. Precise what you say, because everything you say to a demon is a contract. A verbal contract with that demon. But anyways, back to the Dybbuk box. It's me and my being geeky. Now just think, this animal is caged for long periods of time, being caged and neglected. Demons are put in this temporary prison just like dogs are supposed to be in a dog pound. Or, what do they call them? Rescue centers. And that poor dog is malnourished, neglected. It's been abused, it's passed, and it's passed obviously while it's in a shelter. They get fed, who knows? I don't know how much they're getting fed, if they're getting fed correctly even, probably not. Behind closed doors, you know what's going on. Same thing with the demons now. They're looked at the same kind of way, but they got the bad name to it. It's not always the case. These demons are put in a box and given a bad name, putting that fear in that person's eyes so it don't come back on that person who put them in there. Imagine that jinn or whatever, or mind you, that spirit being put in that box and not being able to get out until it's released. And if it's released incorrectly, it's attached to that box. Imagine having a 50-pound ball and chain on your leg and you trying to run with it. You can't, can you? That's what that box is to that demon. If opened incorrectly, you release that demon, you free him of that box. You show him respect. You show him your true intent. That's your only intent, is to free that demon. You will have no repercussions. But if you go at him with fear, you're scared in here, or behind closed doors, you're thinking, then guess what? You're going to have that same effect on it, and it's going to come back at you. You go at it with that pure intent to, I'm going to set this free, to help it so it's not in prison for no reason. You show that kind of intent, and you're fierce about your boundaries, you'll have no problems. That demon might even respect you. Hence, what I've been doing since I was a little kid. Now, these Dybbuk boxes, the cases that I'm working on, cause this kind of stuff. So you can read off the pages you read about it. Now, I don't even want to state what Dybbuk box or show what Dybbuk box I'm dealing with, because it's going to probably corrupt my video here. Alrighty, just imagine. Like demons, animals pick up on emotion. So if you're approaching this Dybbuk box and you have that fear in you, and you image just the most hideous of things, what do you think that demon is going to portray itself to be? Because you're feeding it fear. That's the only food it's gotten, is that fear. Okay, well now, obligated, misconstrued, or miscommunication with it, he gives you it's observing, how you're seeing, how that person is seeing it. It's going to show him that. Now, if the circumstances are different, that person shows up with the intent of, oh, this poor being, whatever's locked in this box, like if it were a little puppy, and opening it up and have them kind of intentions, it's going to pick up on that. Would you pick up on that if somebody was trying to help you? Most definitely. Respect it as such, because that's an old being, that's an old entity. He just got mixed up with some people who know how to do some shit and left them to hang, but that'll be in a different part. Anyways, coming at it with negative emotions is going to have that effect on that demon and that person. So go at it with positive emotions, clean mind, no fear of it. Look at it as if you're going to address my stuff lying here. That's how you handle a demon. State your boundaries. Look at it. State your boundaries. You can't attach yourself to me. You can't attach yourself to my belongings. And you talk to him as if you would an imaginary friend. Show it respect. Give him your good intentions. And you should have no repercussions. Hell, you might even get a visit from time to time, like I tend to do. 3 attachments. That pretty much sums up the Dybuk box in my eyes. You know, it's just your intent. You know, it was only supposed to be a promise until you got into an location that the box would be open. As soon as you get that message to that demon, the rest should follow suit, as nature should. Alrighty. You know, I have a little note here written down how I did my last Dybuk box, how I would do the last Dybuk box that I seen handled. You know, he was skeptical, he was skittish and very fearful. Even in that situation, I'm not going to say his name. You know, if you think it's a demon, it's going to manifest into that demon. But in order to exorcise a demon, and so it don't possess you or any of that jive, you got to get to know its name, its real name, not no pseudonym or nicknames. You got to know that motherfucker's name. That's how you can differentiate yourself from it in possession. That's you have the power. You are in control of you, not it. Respect them at that level. Okay, I ask for its name. Demon, if that's what you claim to be, what is your name? Ask it directly. That way it shows your level of intellect with that demon. You don't show your level of intellect, you're just not seen it at any kind of level. So you got to be direct with that shit. What's your name? I know you got a name. You have to give me your name, demon. That's how you're existing. That's how you get that name out. Not none of these fake little personas. A lot of them, like the lower level demons, they always pretend to be some children or a woman in strife or distress. Those are the lower level demons. But if you mess with a second hierarchy demon, higher and higher, they'll be direct with you, and that will cause glitches like just happened. I caught that. They can cause electricity. They'll take media off your phones. They'll fuck up with your images in your camera, your lighting. When it comes down to demons, if you don't know their name, it's going to continue to happen. If you don't know what to do, shit in your life's going to happen and keep happening repeatedly, because that's how it's going to feed. That's how it's going to exist until you run out of resources, which is yourself, your spiritual self. Now, this is how you release a demon. Before you open this box, you state your intention. You know, you put your emotion out there. And that's what it's afraid of, because they don't have any. You're always afraid of what you don't understand or you don't know. Well, just think of this old being not having emotions. Feeling it. The power of that is how you're going to keep it at bay when you do this. Think of that in mind. Now you show me your true intentions to release you from this disgraceful box they put you in. Now you state clearly, I come with no obligations to me. That's you telling the demon, there's no obligations to me. I'm doing this out of good mutual respect. That you were put in that box and told different, and they didn't follow up their word. I'm here to release you of that. I come with no obligations to me, but ask respectfully. Like me, I ask your presence, that demon's presence, to come in my life from time to time, like a visit, like a friend would. Just give them that kind of level of invitation. There's strict limitations to that visit, and you're stating that. You don't have the control of this, like a lot of weak-minded people do. But you give that invitation to come back on that level of strict restrictions, you might even get a visit, might even a healthy attachment. Manifestations happen from that. Then, as you open it, you think of that again, like a silent reminder to yourself to bind that contract to that opening of that box, holding that demon to that Now, as you open that box, you fiercely state loudly, you are not to attach yourself to me, my friends, or my family, or any of their belongings. You can't attach yourself to any of that shit. It's not yours. It's not welcomed in. It's not condoned. That's a restriction. You are to leave them all alone, including their pets, is regarding their vehicles, transportation, their daily lives. You cannot affect their daily lives. I am the only one who respects your honored presence, understands your presence. You can show yourself to me, and you can communicate with me and me only. Not my family, not my friends, or through any of my belongings, such as a haunted doll. You can't be doing none of that shit. It's not natural in this realm or world, so don't be doing that shit. If you want to communicate with me, communicate with me. Don't be pulling none of that stereotypical bullshit. State your boundaries one last time in your head like that, then reclose with your boundaries. Keep reiterating that you don't control me. You ain't giving you any type of permission. What you need, demon, to exist. You obey my restrictions, respect me on that level, there's going to be no problems. Otherwise, you can stay in that box. And that, my friends, is just the approach of how I handle a Dybuk box. Thank you for following. This is Wicked Cryptids.